ain't safe, I'm not enough. I ain't lying, I ain't high, bitch, I'm in the field.
We just left Rock Nation right now. We out in New York passing out our CDs. It's Playa Familia on deck.
Rock Nation, on to the next one. Let's go, baby.
I had to beat it up to stay inside.
Cause to be honest, I mean, I've seen your name around, but I didn't know who you really were. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me what you really, really need, little baby.
Why these niggas talking to me? I think these niggas dummies, cause it's all about that money. You gotta get that money.
I know she's a bad little diva.
You got a large fan base out there too.
Man.
Very passionate fan base.
Listen, man. That's all I want. Been trying to build up, man. It's a real fan base that like can vibe with what I'm coming with, understand what I'm coming with.
Don Toliver. The different sound that this man has brought to the game is phenomenal. His name is Caleb Zachary Toliver.
Had to triumph, had to do different things to win. You know, that's where the Don, that's where you get the Don from. And the Toliver is my last name.
And he was born on June 12, 1994 in Houston, Texas. More specifically, Alief, Texas. It's a working class suburban area, and his household was always filled with music, such as Swisha House, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and Maxwell. He attended Hastings High School and was personally bumping Michael Jackson, Bobby Womack, and NERD. The idea of even making music came into focus when this happened. He said in an interview, "I was at the barbershop one day and I heard Musiq Soulchild playing.
Things I've got to tell you.
After I heard that Soulchild, it pushed me to really want to go crazy, learn melodies, sounds, everything. I just pushed forward after that." A big influence for Don was actually K-Dot's 2010 mixtape, Overly Dedicated. That's what's up, that shit is underrated. His first song was a track at the age of 16 called Bitch I'm in the Building. He did this while using the PlayStation Eye camera. Vintage, bruh. The song featured him rapping over Tyga's 2014 song, Make It Rain. He got a feel for Houston's scene through playing open mics, art shows, and strip clubs, before Houston rap legend Cheddar the Connect caught wind of what was going on and became his manager. He also said this about his time in school: "It got to the point where even the coolest kids at school would walk up to me like, 'Sing that song, bro.' It let me know like, man, I might be able to do this." And after graduating high school, him and his best friend Josh moved into an apartment on Derry Ashford Road and bought a bunch of studio equipment. They would spend all their time in the studio. Josh would call himself Young Josh 93, while Caleb would call himself Don. Josh and Don formed a little duo called Playa Familia. But before we get into that, the first song that I could find of Don is a song called Dear Summer with Young Josh 93 in 2015. It's deadass a completely different sound to what we know today. He didn't go on to release any music professionally until they would go on to release their first ever mixtape called Playa Familia on May 2017.
I'm in my player ways, I'm in my player ways. Hit that bitch and save her for another day. That pussy laying in my bed, the only thing I kill. I came with a bag. I came in with a bag.
Them boys flew out to New York to give out CDs to anyone who would give it a listen.
Southwest, Alief, Texas, New York City, Breakfast Club, Playa.
Too much playing shit going on, man. He told you that.
I told y'all.
Who's doing? All right. What I need to know though is who the f you know your company?
Pablo, Playa, man. We out here in Tribeca. I repeat, we out here in Tribeca, man. I'm Donnie. I'm out here with Young Josh 93, man. You know what's going on.
105.1. We out here, Breakfast Club. Shout out 93.7.
Where the fucking breakfast at? We at the Breakfast Club.
They even handed out their CD to Joe Budden at like 6 in the morning, where he tells them to stop handing out CDs, which I get because at this point in 2017, CDs weren't nearly as popular as it once was just 10 years prior to that, you know?
Please pop that. Don Toliver, Young Josh 93.
Pump it up.
Thank you, gentlemen. Hey, stop handing CDs out. No CDs. He was outside of wherever. I said it's a clip of
him trying to give me a CD
Wow.
outside of one of these shows.
No shit.
Yeah, and I had to go, so I fucking got in the car and left.
Oh, that's dope.
Wow.
But
that's
it's
dope.
good to see those things.
Yeah,
So,
hell yeah.
and that wasn't but, look, that's him. That's Don. This wasn't but so many years ago. What is that? That got to be, what is that? SOB's Complex. That's Complex.
I was about to say
That's Complex. I'm working at Complex. So
That's
look
dope.
how fast that happened for him.
Wow.
No, look at the hustle. That's paying off. That's dope. You gotta appreciate that.
Fam,
you
it's
root for niggas like
look,
that.
it's
You don't
6
see
in
a
the
lot of niggas that
morning.
do this no more.
It's 6 in the morning in this clip. And he's outside with music.
And he know where to be. Yeah, and I'ma catch it. I'ma catch it.
And
Niggas
I got a
walking in
nigga
there.
that's
That's an influencer.
The mixtape was only the beginning for Don, but as far as Young Josh 93 goes, I don't know, man. I saw this Reddit post where someone asked about him, and most of the people were saying he was just garbage, to be honest. That's crazy. And yeah, he was alright. Nothing special though. Don was the one who clearly had the talent and uniqueness to make it in this game. Josh's YouTube channel barely even cracks like 100 views a video nowadays. Crazy. He did upload this video though on March of 2022 where he was still hanging out with Don, so that's cool I guess. But after that mixtape dropped, Don was starting to transition into more of an R&B kind of style. His biggest inspiration to want to sing was actually his dad, Bongo.
Dad was a musician, so it's like so crazy when I listen to his old music that he made. It's like a mirror of me.
His dad is actually featured on a Swisher House song.
Why can't it blue as I glide down that I-45?
In fact, when Don was 19, him and his dad actually made a song together called Southside. But now with his motive more into singing, him and Josh started performing at local shows all over Houston together. Humble beginnings for real. Their biggest break came from when a promoter named as By Breezy, who would host concerts he would perform at.
Working underground, I always was working underground with like promoters such as like By Breezy. Shout out By Breezy, definitely worked with her. She was like the main person that I just sticked with me and let me do a lot of shows. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of experience within the Houston streets like that.
And in the winter of 2017, Don would go on to drop these 2 tracks, I Gotta and Diva, on SoundCloud, each of which got well over 100,000 streams. He said, yeah, now I gotta go even crazier. He said, I had to take over the city. That means every night for like 3 to 5 months straight, I was in every strip club, every club, in every DJ's face getting my record spun. That's dedication, fam.
Out of I Gotta and Diva, which one would you say would be your favorite?
Diva for sure.
Diva.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Because I can tell you, you know, when I made I Gotta, it was me really just going to the studio saying, hey, I want to make a upbeat record that might be able to get played in the club. I had no idea it would even get near the club. I just wanted something to have on a memory card for me to say, yo, if I pop this in somebody's memory card, they play this shit, this shit fuck around and bang. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was with I Gotta, but you know, that was just how I felt about it. You know, something that I wanted to accomplish, and I kind of just made the song. But Diva was something that I felt. Diva was actually made off of a conversation with me and a close friend of mine named Van Joe. Shout out my boy Joe. You know what I'm saying? We had a conversation about the music I was making at one point in time, and he said, you know what I'm saying? Yo, do that singing shit, bro. Do that shit, nigga. You hard. You can rap, nigga.
Right.
Sing, nigga. Do that shit. So shit, I felt like right after we had that conversation, I went to the studio. I wrote the song in my car. Actually, had the music playing in the car and everything. I wrote it in my car, and I took it to Barrett Studios. Recorded it with Jason. Shout out the Wizard. Recorded it with Jason, and I felt it, bro. Like it was just how I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? Women give you a feeling, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know you got one, and sometimes you don't got one, but you know they a diva, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know
Diva is that one.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and it's stuck with me, bro. When I did. As soon as I came up with the melody in my car, I knew it, bro. Like, I definitely feel it. I've been singing all my life, bro. I just didn't know how to approach it with the rap culture until I grew it. You know, seeing other people do it. Learn.
It was at this point when he signed with Atlantic Records and We Run It Entertainment, but it wasn't all gravy at first. He said, I was sliding by. It wasn't glamorous. I left the streets alone to focus on music. I was losing money because I had to stay in the club all night and I couldn't work the way I had been working. I lost a lot, but then again, I gained so much because I focused on me more. I took my shit seriously and I was doing what actually made me happy.
All the labels that was reaching out to you, you know, being able to sit down with Atlantic, what made you want to basically choose them or sign to a label anyway?
Basically, I guess my final decision on getting with Atlantic was I was stoked to know that Atlantic was not too fond of what's going on down here. You know what I'm saying? They usually reach in other areas, but not too fond that Atlantic reaches out. You know what I'm saying? Out here, and really the impactful people, in that camp reached out, and it was just the vibe, you know what I'm saying, that they gave me when I encountered with them, and things that I read about in their roster. You gotta look at all the people that's incorporated with Atlantic right now,
So let me know what you have coming up in the music world for the year 2018.
Next month, be on the lookout. 91 Mac tape coming. Craziest thing to hit the scene thus far. Promise you that. Don Toliver, Don Gotti, 91 Mac, all that. Next month, be on the lookout. 91 Mac tape. You're gonna hear that. You're gonna see that.
This is where things started to really pick up steam for Don. He dropped his debut mixtape Donnie Womack on August 2nd, 2018.
I don't wanna talk no more. Honey, talk no more. Too little shorty on Bacardi, getting naughty, fucking party. She shot me down, bye bye. Fuck now, bye bye. Made a lot of money on the back end. Yeah, little nigga, I'm taxing. You know, pressure made diamonds. Only I'm on respect for time.
In fact, this dropped just one day before the masterpiece Astroworld was released, where Travis would go on to tweet, Don Toliver, the young Houston legend, it's your time. Hashtag can't say. And he was secretly featured on the banger Can't Say. And admittingly, this single-handedly put me on to Don Toliver. And I'm sure it did for a lot of people. What a crazy cosign, bruh. When I first heard that, I was like, bruh, who the hell is that? His voice is so unique. Like, what? Shit was crazy. Travis Scott, we all know who he is. We know Don is affiliated with him, but how did he actually meet Trav?
How did you guys initially meet?
Well, it really, to keep it short, management was really hounding one of his best friends back in the city. We from Houston, so management was really hounding one of his close friends, really like tough, sending him music through Instagram, sending him videos, and after a while he just gave into it, like, man, let me meet, bro. You know what I'm saying? So he pulled up to one of my little underground shows.
Wow.
Travis's best friend, Jono. He pulled up to one of my shows, and then after that, we just, locked in, and then it led to him just playing the music for Travis, and after that, it was over with, really.
And it led to you ending up on Astroworld.
Yeah, I saw Travis like 1 or 2 times before he called me out there to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, he played the music. I got around him a little bit, and then like I want to say a month or 2 later, after I was like around him for a little bit, he called me for the Hawaii.
It's like, yo, man, come on out to Hawaii, man. Let's work on this. It had to be a surreal feeling.
That was it for me. Just the fact that he called me for that trip, period. Like,
what was that day like? The day Astroworld dropped.
God, man, it was heaven on earth.
Bro didn't even know he was gonna be on Astroworld till the day of the release. And just 3 days after Astroworld came out, Don would sign with Cactus Jack Records. And Travis would bring him out every time he would perform Can't Say for his Astroworld tour.
Now you can't say
Don would go on to release a banger called No Idea on May 29th, 2019.
I know that you're drunk. Yeah.
And this was a song that he had in the tuck for a while, along with other songs. And he would ask Travis for his advice on which song he thinks is the best, and Don said,
I was sitting on the record for a while. I had a couple records in the bag, and I would ask Travis, like, how do you feel about this record, this record, this record? And he's like, no idea, crazy. So what you think about, you feel like I need to rock with that? He like, crazy. So after that,
But no matter what you did, he was on No Idea, just no matter what.
No matter what.
And towards the end of 2019, the song took off on TikTok. The song was used in over 10 million videos, and now currently has over 580 million streams on Spotify and 238 million views on YouTube at the time of this recording. He would go on to use the momentum of this track for his debut album that I'll talk about in a second. In August of 2019 though, he made his on-screen debut on Travis Scott's documentary, Look Mom, I Can Fly, and then went on to release his second single for the album, Can't Feel My Legs, on December 13th. And 2 weeks after, the Cactus Jack Collective would drop their project, Jack Boys, which to me is kind of a cult classic already, fam. Except Rosalia's verse on Heist in the Room remix. That shit was ass.
One thing I know, 2 L's when I ride. I get it outside. I'm with the gang, boys hopping out of coops. You doing your thing, baby, live it up.
Quick question, bro. What made you name your project Heaven or Hell?
I'm a Gemini. I got like, a lot going on with me sometimes. So I just wanted to name it something as closest to where I be feeling like I'm on. It's like heaven and hell, ups and downs. A lot of duality in the music. Just like life in general has a lot of ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? So heaven and hell is just perfect concept for what I got going on right now.
Don would go on to release his debut album Heaven or Hell on March 12, 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic, debuting at number 7 and sold 44,000 copies first week. The album was originally going to be titled Resurrection actually, and this album is dope, man. A solid 12-song album, to the point, nothing bloated, and just a dope listen from beginning to end.
It's whatever with the down, I'm leading the back. I'm drowning in euphoria. Who's that got the keys to my spaceship? Okay, I pull up. How about at the after party?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention he was also featured on Eminem's album Music to Be Murdered By on the song No Regrets.
No regret. You've been through the hardest spot.
Crazy that he got a placement on an Eminem track though. It probably brought in a whole different audience to Don. And not too long after that, he was supposed to be going on tour with The Weeknd, bruh, to over 40 shows where he would have his own set going crazy. But of course the pandemic was messing everybody's life up, so it never happened. One thing that did happen though was Don's contributions to the F9 soundtrack with the song Clap, releasing in July of 2020. Super smooth track, bruh.
So it's on it on. If I want you gone, you gone. I said that pack, you going long.
Another great thing that happened to Don was the smash hit Lemonade that released just not too long after Clap. This track was an automatic hit as soon as you heard it. He went from a couple 100,000 followers on the gram to over 1 million after this. He was also featured on Nas's Grammy-winning album King's Disease on the track Replace Me, and he absolutely bodies this chorus, bro.
It get kinda hard to replace me, so don't go looking for nobody else. All the bitches that be shifty, I pay my shit ain't free. I wanna go to the moon, don't leave so soon.
We can't forget this godlike feature on Kanye's Donda. Man, those vocals, the melody, it's just so soulful, man.
When I was really trying to become an artist, my main thing was just I just needed something different. For a long time, I was so self-conscious about trying to break out and do different things. I didn't want to sound like everybody else. I wanted to just come different. I didn't want to come in and people be like, oh, this is another this and that. That's why the unique, the voice is so strong. People feel it different because I was my pinpoint key entry. I had to come crazy to be in the game. That was just my mental. Or it was I wasn't gonna get it all. You know what I'm saying? I never really thought it was gonna get this far. You know, I just wanted to be heard.
Donnie going crazy right now. Donnie going crazy. It's magic, baby.
You know that you gonna go dying one day? No, it's inevitable. You're going dying.
I experimented. I experimented with my voice, experimented with what I was saying, what's going to set you aside next minute, before somebody else, you know, catches on to whatever you trying to do. That's all it's about.
Don would go on to release his highly anticipated album, Life of a Don, on October 8th, 2021, debuting at number 2 and selling 68,000 copies first week, featuring the singles What You Need and Drugs and Hella Melodies.
Tell me what you really, really need, little boy. No place I can't go. Nothing, no.
The album is fire with pretty much no skips on it, now that I think about it.
Just pull up, but when you're outside before the gate close, need a lot to keep you gas.
It's booming, I'm back again. Let your friends know. Can you braid my hair like Iverson's?
Shawty get thrown off of my bed. Shawty get thrown off with that red. Don't leave the house, baby. You gotta swing my way, but don't leave the high, baby. Your lips taste like candy, can you tell? I'm gonna put it, I ain't see the dash, oh.
And of course, he followed that up with a Life of a Don tour that went absolutely nuts.
Got them Zannies going up. Shawty up the crib, she got them Zannies. Shawty up the crib, she got them Zannies going up. I'm popping up the crib, she got them Zannies going up. Shawty up the crib. Tell me what you really, really need. Take you out and put you in double C. How you want it, Shawty, in the streets. If I take you to my, I put that way down in your whatever you need, whatever you need. Tell me what you really, really need, love, babe. Take the water, put you in that one seat, you can't say that, not enough. Smoking Halloween, I want that alcohol. This shawty let me clean her when she sucked me out. Locking 2 hoes in my bed, I got him. Let's go, let's go. You better stop doing.
motherfucker back and see what the fuck is we really doing. One more time. What the fuck is really? Oh shit! Yeah! Hey! Hey! How can I lose? How can I lose? How can I lose? Boys, how can I lose? So much money on that you I'm the juice, Cody got me tripping. I'm the juice, I'm the movies missing. Ice, lemonade, my neck is tripping. Ice, lemonade, my neck is tripping.
Absolutely nuts. And in 2022, he's been keeping his foot on the gas with some fire-ass features.
I got in the club with all of my thugs, I'm packing that pistol P. I just scraped it off the top, put it on the road, on the curb, on the block. Pay the toll on a broken road.
Don Toliver is definitely deserving of his spot right now in the game. He not only earned it to get where he's at, but I only see him becoming more and more of a megastar and a household name in this game. He's versatile as hell, and I only see his next project, whenever it drops, to sell even more copies than the last project. That boy has legendary potential, for real.